If you know, you know. Today is cat day, boys. Let's go to Gotokuji Temple, aka Cat Wonderland. I went there around 11 o'clock on a Monday, so it wasn't like hugely busy. And there's actually a lot more to see to the temple than the cat section, you know, like the part with all the little statuettes. This tree blooming, perfect. So here we are. There are actually two sections where you get to see the little statues. So Gotokuji Temple is basically famous for these big/small cats. You go in and you buy one, and it's basically a wish, and once your wish comes true, you come back to the temple and you leave your cat here. They were actually pretty affordable. You could also get a keychain. You could also get like a massive one. This was the line and it was going by pretty fast, but they had actually started running out of some of the cats. But I guess like the medium-sized ones that everyone gets, those were still there. And you can get only one per person. There was actually a sign stating this, but I guess a lot of people don't really see it. And that is that you don't scribble on the cats, okay? I saw so many people who would tag their names or place they come from or whatever, what year it is. Don't do that. They're sacred. But anyway, I got a small one. It was about 1,000 yen, I think. And of course, I had to get a stamp. Little baby. And I did another tour around the temple, and of course you get to keep this. You take this home with you. I feel like maybe for someone who doesn't know, it's easy to confuse that, but you don't leave it at the shrine just yet. Once it's come true, then you come back and leave it. And then I walked around Shimokita once again. There's actually a lot of vintage clothing here, and all kinds of stores, all kinds of cafes, all kinds of restaurants. It was bustling with a lot of young people here. The atmosphere definitely felt very modern and fresh. Stray kids. I went into their local Don Quixote, and the emptiness honestly was like so refreshing. It felt like I could finally try things out and look at them and test them. I also got this. I don't know. It was just cute. I sat down at this place called Pebbles and got a strawberry parfait and then some takeout. And when I was walking back home, I came across this meat machine. Brother, what? Just go into the store. Oh my goodness. I don't know about that one, boys. The cherry trees are definitely starting to bloom. It's a little odd because some of them are quite bright, the other ones are white, and some of them are in full bloom. Others are definitely late. I don't know what's going on. It's like you have 10 meters of no cherry blossoms and then 10 meters of a lot of cherry blossoms, and you blink and you miss it. This is a new day. The Sakura is already really in its full bloom or almost getting there. I was walking down Nakameguro River and honestly it seemed like everyone was there. Of course I had to get food. There was a bunch of new foods, but it's actually kind of sad because they don't necessarily package the food that you buy in the form of like takeout. Like you have to either eat it in the moment or I don't know. I actually kind of regret this day because I went home way too quickly. Kind of wish I made it a Yokohama day trip, but look at the lanterns. Some of these were wishes for like BTS and other K-pop groups, actually a bunch of K-pop groups. But the reason why I went home early was actually because I was meeting someone later in the evening. But when we met, we actually walked way too much, so I left early. I swear I can't make this up, y'all. I can't. This was in the afternoon in Shibuya, and look, they already changed up the posters, and look who it is. There's so many HAIKYUU stuff going on, actually. I'm surprised. Isn't it a little, like, late for it? Like, the movie came out a while ago already. Look at Yoyogi at this time, though. Damn. Something to know, I guess. This was in Harajuku, but the sports cars come out at night. Also, if anyone wants to experience that kind of Tokyo drift vibe, there's a parking lot where a lot of sports cars gather. If I'm not mistaken, I think the only way to get there is if someone drives you there, and I believe a lot of taxi drivers refuse to go there. There's no usable public transport, so not sure how you would go. I guess you need your own car. Next day, I finally managed to find this little quaint corner here in Shibuya. I'll probably come back at a better time later at night at some point to see it again because it looks better, but I was on a mission that day. First of all, second of all, you already know it's HAIKYUU stuff. By the way, highly recommend this place. It's actually a bunch of anime stuff gathered all together on the second floor, and it's really freaking cool. They just happened to have a HAIKYUU event today. It's a lot of the same stuff I saw in Shinjuku, but still cool to see. There was a lot of Chainsaw Man and Jujutsu Kaisen and Naruto. I wasn't technically allowed to film a lot, so this is the only thing I really got. Finally decided to give my local supermarket a shot up with the food. It's so sad, but I get hungry at the weirdest times. I can't sit at a restaurant properly. Bro, never give them your bag for them to put all your shit in because look at this mess. It was so beautiful. They had so many beautiful sets exactly for like lunch or dinner, whether it was like Western or Japanese or even Korean or Chinese. It was so good. I'm going back to that supermarket tonight. Okay, that looks a little bit better. I tried to organize them, put them back into place. This is the other thing I got. Looks freaking delicious. I tried it and I gotta say I'm not the biggest fan. It's just regular chicken. I think it's because it's mainly like the fat part of the chicken, which I'm generally not the biggest fan of. Sometimes I feel like I'm paranoid. Other times I'm clearly not. Like today, I thought I felt like a little shake of the house again, just because things also started like creaking suspiciously. And I checked online, and actually it wasn't in Japan, and I don't know if I even felt anything at all that's related to that. In Taiwan, there was like a 7 point something magnitude earthquake which hit them, which is the strongest one they've ever had. Taipei, I believe, and Okinawa are expecting tsunamis essentially. And I don't know if it's like strong enough that we would feel it here in Tokyo, but listen, it's a little too coincidental that, you know, I felt something. I go online and it turns out there has been something not like super far away, you know? And this is me saying goodbye because I'm leaving this place and going on to the next one. My first ever Tokyo taxi ride experience was kind of the greatest. It was really, really nice. I used the Go Taxi app, and I gotta say, people said this was gonna be expensive, and it was expensive. It was about a 20-minute ride and it cost about 3,000 yen, which, you know, it's kind of a lot. I got to my hotel and then I left my luggage and I went out exploring, of course, to the nearby shrines in my area. I'm on the hunt for stamps and omomoris, okay? I still need to get the courage to actually go to the stations and go with my little stamp book and stamp it, but it's a whole different experience because stations are quite chaotic. Everyone's trying to get to work or get to wherever they're going, and then there's me, there's just like hunting for a stamp. Like, okay girl, get the fuck out of my way, I'm trying to get to work. Someone please enlighten me. I was walking past, I think, a university, but close by it there was actually like a hotel plaza thing. This was on a Thursday and something was going on. There was a bunch of like university students and parents that were gathered around. Everyone was dressed up really nicely in suits and dresses and whatnot, and I was really like, oh, what is going on here? Because you couldn't really tell if it was like a graduation or... Anyway, I was heading down to the KFC in the Shinjuku area, one that a lot of people might be familiar with but not realize that they are. Here it is. Thanks, bus. Here it is. It's the one where they broke up. This area I call Little Asia because there was just about everything here. By the way, getting up early is a must in Tokyo apparently, because I got to sit down at Ichiran comfortably here. Shinjuku, out of all places, is the last place I would have imagined not to be busy. I sat, I ate, I didn't feel rushed. There was no one really coming in. 11 a.m. is the time. That's when everything opens. And that's when lines are non-existent, apparently. This eraser is really cute. When you use it, it turns into Mount Fuji. I walk and I somehow hear always familiar voice actors in the background, and I turn around and of course, there was a bunch of people, or women rather, just waiting around here for like an ad to roll, and I got curious, so I waited around. I waited for like a good 10 minutes and nothing was appearing. They weren't pulling their phones out or anything, so I was like, what are we all waiting for actually? Apparently it was this, whatever this is. And then I started heading subconsciously without realizing into like the host club, male host club area, and boy, oh boy, did it get interesting. I can't wait to walk down this street during the nighttime. I couldn't help but like giggle to myself, to be honest, because there's something obviously like a little cringy about it, but also it's a culture, you know, something that I don't understand. The name Nagisa also pops up quite often here. I gotta say, it's a really pretty name. Stamp gang, ooh. They also give you a little gift. Golden Guy District, y'all. During the day, completely empty, completely harmless, completely dead, but it's more exciting during the night, obviously. Oh, Naru, Cleo, what have they done to you? You already know, I had to kill time, and there's only one place that's really good for killing time. God, how I wish I continued Gintama and it was interesting enough to me that I actually finished it. Gintoki is so fine. Like, what? Familiar faces. What up, boys? First gachapon experience ever. And I actually got the one I didn't want. Like, out of all of the ones I didn't want, that's the one I absolutely did not want. I think this is the first time I've ever experienced an entire washing machine in the hotel room. This is the bathroom. Real cute, real nice. And the view's not too bad either. Go on, focus. Yeah. In a sense, I'm kind of glad that we don't have good packaging in Europe, because I'm already a hoarder as is when I see nice packaging. If it was anything close to what we get here in Japan, my entire house is gonna be filled with empty boxes. Okay, so essentially what happened is that thank God for my tiny little pea brain, I decided to check the dates of when I was moving out from the first Airbnb to the second Airbnb, because I am switching between two. And I saw that apparently there's one day in between where I'm not sleeping anywhere. I'm homeless, essentially. I don't have a bed, I don't have a roof over my head. Your girl had to do some last minute digging about finding a hotel, essentially. Gave a kidney and a lung to get a room. But here we are, and it's actually really, really nice. When a trip is way too long, you know that something like this is gonna have to happen. There's gotta be at least one disaster, and you gotta brace for it and just accept it as part of the memories, part of the experience.